Hello guys, how you doing? It's your boy Mason, and welcome to the channel. I'm so happy, so glad to be here because of two reasons really. And the first reason is I haven't made a video for quite some time, and the second reason is that today is actually the 24th of December, and tomorrow, as you all know, is the 25th of December, which means it's Christmas time. So there is more reason to be happy there. It's Christmas time, and I've made a video for a long time. And I love this channel, and I love doing presentations, and I love doing these videos. So more reason for me to be happy. But like I always say, I'm so grateful of you being here with me. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me. So your presence is always valued and appreciated. Like I said, welcome to the channel. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to call this video The Real Meaning of Christmas. Okay, we're going to call this video The Real Meaning of Christmas. What does Christmas actually mean? See, a lot of people, they have got different connotations and different meaning of Christmas. Christmas means totally different to a lot of people, but what is the real core or the real reason behind Christmas? You know what I mean? If I talk to, let's say, 3, 4, 5 different people, they're gonna give me different meanings to the real reasons behind Christmas. Somebody will tell you it is a day of celebrating and enjoying with all your loved ones, your family members and friends. It is a day of reuniting with some of the people you haven't seen for quite a long time. It is a day of eating food, cooking turkey, cooking all kind of different food and having a little party, that kind of thing. To somebody, that's what Christmas is. If I talk to somebody else and if I ask him what is the real definition of the real meaning of Christmas, they'll probably tell you Christmas is all about celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. If you are a Christian, if you are one of those religious types, and if you're a Christian, you're going to say, I'm going to be celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, because about 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ was born as a little baby. And on the 25th of December, that's his birthday. So we're celebrating the birth of Christ. That's what a Christian will say. And if you ask, let's say, I don't know, an astrologer or somebody who is into nature, or even an atheist, yeah, they're probably going to tell you we are celebrating Christmas because it is a day when the sun eventually is coming back to life, since we've been having longer days, since the nights have been longer, and the days from the 25th of December, it's gonna get lighter. We're gonna get more daytime than nighttime. So it's the coming back of the sun. And the sun is coming back to life. That's why if you ask a pagan or non-Christian or the atheist, they will tell you the same thing, because it's all about astrology and it's all about the movement of the sun. So, what is the real meaning of Christmas? What is the real definition and significance of Christmas? Why should we take Christmas so highly, and why should we, when we revere Christmas Day, what is it exactly that we are celebrating? I mean, I got my little drink here. Cheers, because it's the festive season. But really, is it all about drinking, eating your turkey, and party? Is the Christmas really about the birth of Christ, the birth of a son of God who was born in Bethlehem, who was born in Israel, in Israel about 2,000 years ago? Is that really? Is it all about the coming back of the sun, having more longer days or brighter days, and winter is the end of winter, the coming back of the sun to life again? Is it all about regeneration, recycling of things, and self-reflection? Is that really what Christmas is? I mean, you tell me who is right and who is wrong. So Christmas means a lot to different people. And every single person, all of them, they're absolutely right. Because indeed, Christmas time is the end of the year, is the 25th of December, is the last month of the year. You want to celebrate and you want to enjoy how the life has been, how the year has been with anybody that means a lot to you. You want to share your experience. You want to share your celebration with somebody else. And most importantly, people who means a lot to you. So yes, you can celebrate Christmas with all of your loved ones and your friends. And yes, you can celebrate Christmas as a Christian because it is the birth of Christ. It is definitely the birth of Christ. Because in the Christian theology, in the Christian religion, they believe that Jesus Christ was born 2,000 years ago on this very date. So their deity, their sole deity of Christianity, who is Jesus Christ, they be celebrating his birth. So for a Christian, it definitely is true that Christmas is all about the birth of Christ. For a non-Christian, an atheist, or somebody who's in astrology, or somebody who is into nature, and they'll be definitely right that, as you know, from March to January, the sun is always going from north to south, and in December, on the 22nd, actually, we just came, it's the 23rd, 24th today. About a couple of days ago, we had a winter solstice. And a winter solstice, that's when the sun stops from going northward, southwards no more. On the 22nd of December, this is the place, or this is the position of the sun stop going. It can't go further than south in the Tropic of Capricorn. And for 3 days, or for 2 or 3 days, the sun is gonna every time it's gonna rise in the morning from the exact spot. It doesn't go further than that. But on the 25th, tomorrow, the sun will start moving again, but this time on a new direction, opposite direction, south northward direction. So hence it was said the sun is born again. So you see what I mean? There is a difference in understanding and in the meaning of Christmas. But I'm going to tell you another definition of Christmas, or another meaning of Christmas, which is esoteric, which has been passed over throughout all the ages, all the way from antiquity. I'm going to tell you about the real definition of Christmas, which is actually more significant, more imperative, more productive, more enlightening, more spiritual, because everything else that I've just said, all about the celebrations of Christmas, they are all literal things. But there's another definition, or another meaning, or another reason why you should be celebrating Christmas. And I'm going to tell you this. And some of you, this could probably going to be news to you. Some of you probably have never heard this before. Some of you, probably this could be the first time for you to hear it. But I'm going to tell you. You see, Christmas time is about you. Christmas time is about you in potential. Christmas time is the potential you. It's the rebirth, or the second birth of you. Now, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Mason? Let me explain. As human beings, every single one of us, me, you, your friend, the other friend, and everybody else, we were all born through a natural birth from the wombs of our mothers. This was the first birth. This is a human birth. But there is another second birth, which is Christmas. This is a potential second birth. This is a reminder of what you can do, or what you can have, or what you can be when you have this second birth. Now, our first birth as a natural human beings, this is when God become man. Because we were created in the image of God. When the creative spirit or divine spirit comes down into flesh and become flesh, this is your first birth. This is the day you were born, the day you were conceived, what you might call your birthday. This is when God, or the divine spirit, or the absolute spirit, became flesh. That's you. That was your first birth. That's your birthday. But in your whole experience, in your whole lifetime, no matter how many lifetimes you're going to have in this physical reality, there's going to be a point when you're going to have a revelation. And when you have this revelation, you're going to have a resurrection or an ascension. And you're going to have this transfiguration. You're going to become the Christ. That's when men become God. See, when God becomes flesh, God becomes man. But man has to one day come up to his or her realization or awakening or enlightenment that you are God in flesh. You are spirit in flesh. See, when that happens, that becomes a birth. That becomes your rebirth. That becomes the Christ you. You're no longer just the Jesus, but you become the Jesus Christ. This is the new birth when flesh recognizes that it is spirit in flesh. This is when mankind, and when I say mankind, I'm talking about men and women. When humankind, you, me, and everybody else, when you come to the realization that you are God in flesh, and when you wake up to this reflection or this realization, this is called a revelation. So the Genesis, the very beginning, this is when the flesh become man. This is what's called the fall of man. When divine spirit becomes flesh, this is your birth as a human being. But there's going to be a point when you're going to have a revelation through reflection and experience, through enlightenment. This is when you're going to become aware. You're going to open your eyes. You're going to come back from the dead. This is when you're going to resurrect from flesh. And when you resurrect from the death of materialism, you're going to open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you become a newborn baby, a new birth, and you become the Christ. So Christmas time is all about you waking up to the realization that you are God in flesh. But nobody is going to open that for you. It's only going to be revealed through you, through reflection, and through going deeper within yourself and understanding the nature of reality. And when you do that, this is when you're going to come to the realization that God became flesh. But flesh realized and opened its eyes that He is God. This is the Christmas day. This is the day when you celebrate the birth of a new baby, the birth of the Christ. And when you become the Christ, this is when nothing is beyond you and nothing is impossible. This is when you realize that, you know what? You've got every single thing in your fingertips, under your fingertips. You've got the power to create any reality that you want. There is no boundaries. There is no impossibilities. This is when you're going to come to the realization that, you know what, anything that you want, it's simply due to your stretch of imagination. How much and how longer and how deep do you imagine? Because you can create anything that you want out of nothing, and that nothing will come into your reality. This is when you're gonna even understand that you are three in one. You are the Holy Trinity. You are flesh in the material world, but you've got the psychic body as well, and you've got the mental body. You've got three bodies. Your higher self is the psychic and the mental state. See, all this kind of enlightening, awakening, this is going to open your eyes and understand there is no boundaries, there is no impossibilities, there is no limit to your capabilities. You can do whatever that you want, and you can manifest and attract anything that you want. But this can only happen when you have a new birth, when a new baby is born. And when you say a new baby, we are talking about you awakening to your divinity, your divine self. When you understand that God became flesh, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh, and the Word was God. And that's you. God became flesh. That's the day you were born. That's the day your ancestors were born. That's the day your mother was born. But most significantly, that's the day you was born. The day when you was born, God became flesh. But the day you're going to resurrect and awakening to your higher self, that flesh will become spirit. That flesh will become a divine spirit. And when that flesh becomes a divine spirit, it becomes a Christ. It resurrects. It comes out from matter. It comes out from the shell of death. This is the true resurrection. And when it resurrects, it's going to ascend. And this is called evolution. This is when you're going to ascend back to where you came from. This is where God is going to come back to where God came from, which is the absolute divinity. So Christmas time, it's all about the Christ in you. It's all about your potential Christness. Christmas time, it's all about you waking up from the deep sleep and be born again. And understand that you are bigger and powerful than whatever you've been told or you've thought about yourself. This is the Christ in you. This is the I am in you. This is the God in you. This is the real definition of Christmas. This is the esoteric meaning of Christmas. There's the exoteric meaning of Christmas. Yes, you know that the sun, through astrology and through astronomy, we know the sun goes through all the constellations in the zodiac. That is true. We know that 2,000 years ago, there was a birth of Christ. That is true, because it's all metaphorical, it's all symbolical, but that is true. You know that it's the end of the year. Yes, we're going to celebrate having a quality time with all your friends and family. That again is true. That's not a lie. That's called an exoteric meaning of Christmas. But an esoteric or an occult meaning of Christmas, this is when flesh become spirit. This is when a new birth comes, when a new birth happens. This is when you come to a revelation. Do you know the reason why the Bible has started with Genesis and Revelation? Genesis is the first principle or the beginning, how God descended into matter. This is how God became flesh. This is the Genesis. That is your new birth. That is the day you was born. But there's going to be a day when you're going to have an ascension and a resurrection. There was going to be a day when you're going to hear everything going to be revealed to you. This is the revelation. That's why the Bible starts with Genesis and end up with the Revelation, because the revelation is the revelation day of you. This is the day when everything will be revealed to you. When you understand that you are not flesh and bones, when you understand that God has become flesh, God became you. But you're gonna understand that you are God. You're gonna come out from this sleep, deep sleep. You're gonna come out from this darkness, and you're gonna come to the light and realization of your own divinity and of your own spirituality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the true meaning of Christmas. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. And I know a lot of people probably have never heard this before. They're going to say, what are you talking about? This is blasphemy. This is heresy. And you know what?